Two women, same salon chair. One glows, the other looks older. Why? It's a moment you may have witnessed or even experienced yourself. You sit down for a color refresh, hoping to walk out looking brighter, younger, more confident. But when the cape comes off, the result isn't always what you imagined. Sometimes the color lifts your whole face, bringing warmth and sparkle to your eyes. Other times, it makes your skin look dull, your features harsher, as if the shade itself has aged you overnight. That's the mystery of hair color after 60. It can be your best friend or your quiet enemy. And it has nothing to do with how trendy the shade is, but with how it works with you, your skin tone, your texture, your spirit. In today's video, we'll uncover 3 hair colors that can secretly make you look older, and 3 that will restore your glow and confidence. Think of it as a roadmap to colors that celebrate who you are today, not who you used to be. Before we dive in, take a second to subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video with a friend. Because every woman deserves to shine in the shade that tells her story best. 1. Salt and Pepper Elegance, turning silver into strength. It often begins in the quietest of moments. A morning light streams through the bathroom window, you're brushing your hair, and suddenly, there it is. A strand of silver glimmers back at you. Your hand pauses. Your heart does too. For years, we've been told that moment is the beginning of decline, a signal to rush for the dye bottle, to cover, to hide. But what if that little spark of silver isn't the end at all? What if it's the beginning of something stunning? I've seen it countless times. My friend Linda, for example, spent years chasing the black dye bottle. Every 3 weeks, she'd rush to the salon, desperate to keep her hair youthful. Yet no matter how fresh the color, something about it felt heavy, almost artificial. Then one summer, she stopped. She let her natural salt and pepper take the stage. At her granddaughter's graduation, people couldn't stop staring, not because she looked older, but because she glowed. They whispered, "You look radiant." For Linda, that moment changed everything. That's the magic of salt and pepper hair. It carries dimension that no single dye can mimic. The silver catches light, softening fine lines, brightening the skin, and drawing attention to your eyes. Instead of flattening your features, the natural blend adds depth, like a perfect filter that works in real life. It's not trying too hard, it's effortless, and it's yours. But let's be honest, embracing this look takes courage. You've been conditioned to think silver equals giving up. Yet the truth is the exact opposite. Choosing to let your natural shades shine isn't surrender. It's power. It's telling the world, I've lived, I've grown, and I'm not afraid to show it. More and more women are realizing that salt and pepper is not about age. It's about authenticity. It's a quiet kind of rebellion, a statement that says you're defining beauty on your own terms. Of course, silver doesn't mean neglected. With a little care, it can look glossy and chic. A nourishing oil for softness, a gentle shampoo to prevent dullness, and a layered cut to show off the blend, it all makes a difference. The goal isn't to fight what's natural, but to polish it, to let it sparkle. Think of it as enhancing, not hiding, and the transformation goes beyond the mirror. Women who embrace their silver often tell me they feel lighter, freer, as though a weight has been lifted. No more appointments dictated by roots showing through. No more anxiety about keeping up appearances. Instead, there's pride. There's ease. And ironically, people notice. They say you look younger, brighter, more confident. Because the truth is, radiance has very little to do with covering gray, and everything to do with owning it. So the next time you see those strands shining back at you, ask yourself, are they really a flaw to fix, or a crown you've earned? Imagine walking into a room and feeling every bit of yourself reflected in the shimmer of your hair. Strength, grace, authenticity. That's the real gift of salt and pepper. And yet, while silver can be your superpower, not every color choice works the same way. In fact, there's one shade so many women cling to, believing it's the key to eternal youth, when in reality, it often drains the life right out of their face. Curious what it is? That's exactly what we'll uncover next. 2. Jet black trap. The illusion of youth that backfires. For so many women, black has always felt safe. It's bold, it's classic. It's the shade we grew up associating with glamour and strength. You might even remember your younger self with thick, glossy dark hair, how it framed your face, how it made your eyes sparkle. So it's only natural that when the silver strands begin to show, many women reach for jet black dye, believing it will rewind the clock. But here's the truth. What once looked rich and powerful can, after 60, quietly turn against you. Jet black doesn't soften, it sharpens. Instead of erasing time, it casts a harsh spotlight on fine lines, shadows, and every little crease we'd rather keep in the background. What was meant to restore youth ends up emphasizing exactly what we don't want emphasized. I remember meeting a woman named Carol who had been dyeing her hair black for decades. She told me she felt trapped. Every 3 weeks at the salon, every new root line felt like a betrayal, and yet she couldn't let go. "If I stop," she whispered, "I'll look old." But the heartbreaking part was this. The very color she clung to for youth was making her skin look pale, her eyes tired, her whole presence heavy. She didn't look older because of the silver she feared. She looked older because the black no longer matched the softness of her face. That's the catch with jet black. It works beautifully on young faces because it contrasts against smooth skin. But as skin naturally changes, black becomes unforgiving. It deepens shadows under the eyes, hardens the jawline, and makes the complexion look drained rather than glowing. And the upkeep? Exhausting. The slightest regrowth of silver looks like a neon sign against that midnight backdrop, forcing you into a cycle of endless touch-ups. But here's the good news. Letting go of jet black doesn't mean letting go of vibrancy. Quite the opposite. Shades like warm chocolate brown, chestnut, or even a soft espresso with caramel highlights can do what jet black never could. They brighten. They lift. They bring dimension and warmth back into the face. I've seen women swap their black dye for a rich coffee brown, and suddenly their eyes look awake, their skin more luminous. One client told me she felt like she stepped out of a shadow and into the light. The shift isn't just visual, it's emotional. Once you release the need to cling to black, you discover how liberating it feels to stop fighting such a high-maintenance battle. Your hair still looks polished, but it feels softer, more natural, more alive. People notice too. They won't always say, "You look younger." Instead, they'll say, "You look happier. You look refreshed." And isn't that what we're all really chasing? So if you've been holding on to jet black as your safety net, ask yourself, does it still serve you, or has it become a cage? Are you coloring your hair to reflect who you are today, or who you used to be? Because here's the secret. Youth isn't about the darkest shade in the box. It's about choosing colors that honor the woman you've become. And speaking of honoring yourself, there's one shade in particular that has the power to revive almost anyone's look. It warms, it softens, it flatters nearly every skin tone. Think of it as comfort food for your hair, a color that feels both safe and stunning. That's what we'll dive into next. 3. Chocolate brown with copper lights. Warmth that revives. Picture this. You're sitting by the window in late afternoon, sunlight pouring in. Your hair catches that golden light, and instead of looking flat or dull, it suddenly glows, subtle, rich, alive. That's exactly what happens when chocolate brown meets a hint of copper. It's not dramatic or over the top, but it has a way of bringing warmth back into your whole appearance, almost like turning on a soft, flattering filter you can carry everywhere you go. Why does this color work so well, especially after 60? Because it strikes the perfect balance. Chocolate brown has depth, but it isn't harsh the way jet black can be. It grounds you. It flatters most skin tones, whether you're fair, olive, or deep, and it naturally makes the whites of your eyes and the pink of your cheeks stand out more. Add in those delicate copper lights, and suddenly there's movement, dimension, and a kind of radiance that feels effortless. I once worked with a woman named Susan who had been feeling invisible. Her hair was thinning, and the faded color she had wasn't helping. She told me, "When I look in the mirror, I just see tiredness." We shifted her to a chocolate brown base and threaded through copper highlights around her face. The change was instant. Her skin looked warmer, her eyes brighter, and her hair seemed fuller. When she saw her reflection, she smiled through tears and said, "I feel like me again." That's the quiet power of this color. It doesn't scream. It whispers beauty back into your everyday life. Another reason chocolate with copper works so beautifully? It's forgiving. Unlike platinum blondes or fiery reds that require constant touch-ups, this shade ages gracefully. As your natural grays grow in, they blend softly with the depth of brown and the shimmer of copper. You don't get those harsh lines of contrast that scream roots. Instead, everything melts together in a way that looks intentional, polished, and modern. And let's talk about the way it plays with light. Step outside, and those copper strands catch the sun like embers glowing at dusk. Indoors, under softer light, they add just enough dimension to prevent your hair from ever looking flat. It's one of those rare combinations that works at brunch, at the office, or at a candlelit dinner. No matter where you are, it adapts and flatters. What I love most, though, is how this color feels emotionally. When women see themselves in this warm palette, there's a shift. They don't just look fresher, they feel lighter, softer, more approachable. The richness of chocolate brown gives them a sense of grounding, while the copper brings a spark of playfulness. It's like finding that perfect balance between wisdom and vitality, between elegance and fun. If you've ever looked in the mirror and thought, "My hair just looks tired," this could be the answer. Not a drastic, shocking change, not something that demands you be someone else. Just a gentle adjustment that revives what was already there. The warmth in your skin, the brightness in your eyes, the softness in your smile. Because at the end of the day, hair color isn't about chasing youth. It's about amplifying your glow. Chocolate brown with copper lights doesn't erase who you are. It enhances the best of you. And while this shade is a quiet classic, some women lean toward the opposite extreme, a bold, attention-grabbing color that promises drama but often delivers disappointment. It's daring, it's seductive, but it can also cast a shadow that weighs heavier than you expect. Let's talk about that next. 4. Burgundy red, the bold choice that ages. There's something undeniably alluring about red. It's the color of passion, of fire, of standing out, and for many women over 60, burgundy red feels like a daring lifeline, an invitation to prove they're still vibrant, still bold, still unforgettable. On the surface, it seems like the perfect choice, dramatic, stylish, and full of personality. But here's the hidden truth. While burgundy can look stunning in a glossy magazine photo or under perfect salon lighting, it rarely behaves the same way in real life. On mature skin, especially skin that is softened with time, burgundy often casts a shadow. Instead of lifting, it can darken the complexion, making your face appear more tired, even washed out. And as the weeks go by, that rich red tends to fade into coppery orange or brassy pink, colors that don't carry the same elegance you were hoping for. I remember meeting Diane, a vibrant woman in her 60s who wanted to reclaim her spark. She chose a deep burgundy, thinking it would give her that confident movie star glow. At first, she loved the drama, but just a few weeks later, her hair began to lose that polished salon look. The red turned flat in some spots, brassy in others, and instead of feeling empowered, she found herself avoiding mirrors. Her friends gently told her she looked a bit tired. That's when she realized the bold color she hoped would revive her was actually pulling her down. Why does this happen? Because burgundy is an unforgiving color. It emphasizes redness in the skin, highlights uneven tones, and draws attention to fine lines rather than softening them. What feels bold on the swatch card can end up harsh against the natural palette of a face over 60. And the upkeep? It's relentless. Reds fade faster than almost any other shade, meaning you're back in the salon chair constantly, fighting a battle that rarely pays off. But here's the good news. If you love the idea of red, you don't have to give it up completely. The key is choosing warmth without the weight. A softer auburn, a chestnut with subtle red undertones, or even just a few copper highlights woven through your natural base can deliver that pop of vibrancy without overwhelming your features. Imagine catching a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and seeing not a harsh block of color, but a gentle shimmer of warmth framing your face. That's the difference between color that competes with you and color that completes you. And let's not forget the emotional side. Burgundy can feel like a declaration, a refusal to fade into the background. That desire is real, and it matters. But you don't need a heavy, aging shade to make that statement. In fact, the subtler versions of red often send a stronger message. I know exactly who I am, and I'm glowing because of it. It's not about shouting, it's about radiating. So if you've ever been tempted by burgundy, ask yourself, do you want to stand out or do you want to shine? Because those two things aren't the same. Standing out can sometimes feel forced. Shining, on the other hand, feels natural, effortless, undeniable. And when you choose wisely, that's what the right color does. It lets you shine. Now, if burgundy represents the bold but risky choice, there's another color on the opposite end of the spectrum, cool, understated, and quietly luxurious. It doesn't shout for attention, but the moment people see it, they notice something. You look fresher, softer, and completely modern. Let's step into that world next. 5. Cool ash brown with smoky highlights, soft glow of modernity. Not every woman wants to be bold. Sometimes the most powerful statement is whispered, not shouted. That's exactly what cool ash brown with smoky highlights does. It doesn't scream for attention, but it quietly transforms the way people see you. It's the kind of color that makes others pause, tilt their head, and say, "You look incredible. Did you just come back from vacation?" When really, all you did was choose the right shade. Ash tones have a unique gift. They neutralize. If your skin has begun to show a little redness, blotchiness, or unevenness, as so many of us experience after 60, warm colors can sometimes make those issues stand out more. But cool ash brown softens them. It balances the canvas almost like a natural filter, leaving your complexion looking calmer, smoother, more luminous. Add in smoky highlights, those fine, airy streaks of lighter ash woven through, and suddenly your hair looks thicker, fuller, and alive with movement. I'll never forget a client named Linda. She'd always been adventurous with her hair but felt ready for something more elegant, more polished. We shifted her into a cool ash brown base and feathered in smoky highlights. The transformation wasn't dramatic in the way a fiery red or platinum blonde would be. It was subtler. But when she looked in the mirror, her eyes filled with tears. "I don't just look younger," she said softly. "I look like myself again." That's the magic of this shade. It restores without overpowering. Another reason this color works so beautifully is its versatility. It's sophisticated enough for a boardroom, soft enough for a casual afternoon, and elegant enough for a wedding or dinner party. Wherever you go, it adapts. It whispers confidence, like quiet luxury in hair form. Think of cashmere sweaters or a perfectly tailored blazer. Never flashy, always refined. That's what ash brown with smoky highlights gives you. And let's talk about maintenance, because that matters. Unlike burgundy or platinum, which demand constant touch-ups, ash brown ages gracefully. The smoky highlights blend seamlessly with natural grays as they grow, meaning you don't get those harsh, telltale root lines. Instead, your hair looks intentionally dimensional, like you meant for it to be that way all along. Emotionally, this color offers something rare: peace. Many women describe feeling settled once they move into ash tones. Not boring, not invisible settled, in the best sense of the word. It's the feeling of no longer needing to fight against your hair, but finally letting it work with you. It's understated elegance, and that kind of elegance never goes out of style. Of course, there's also the way it interacts with light. Walk outside on a sunny day and those smoky streaks shimmer like silk threads. Indoors, under softer lighting, they create just enough depth to keep your hair looking polished and intentional. It's a shade that behaves beautifully in every environment, which means you never have to worry about it betraying you under harsh fluorescence or dim evening light. So if you've been searching for a way to look refreshed without going bold, this might be your sweet spot. Cool ash brown with smoky highlights doesn't fight for attention. It earns it. Quietly, consistently, gracefully. And while this shade offers modern elegance, there's one more color that promises glamour but often delivers the opposite. It's iconic, it's trendy, it's been worn by countless celebrities. But for women over 60, it can quickly shift from chic to exhausting. Let's talk about platinum blonde and why it often becomes more burden than blessing. 6. Platinum blonde, the fading star. For decades, platinum blonde has carried a certain mystique. It's bold, it's glamorous, and for many women, it feels like the ultimate declaration that age hasn't dulled their sparkle. After all, it's the color of Hollywood icons, the shade that whispers youth and daring. But here's the quiet truth. What once felt like stardom can sometimes, after 60, become a spotlight that's just too harsh. On mature skin, platinum blonde often drains warmth from the face. Instead of highlighting your natural radiance, it can leave your complexion looking pale, almost washed out. Fine lines and shadows around the eyes or mouth suddenly appear sharper, more pronounced. What was intended to look fresh and edgy can, in real life, leave you looking tired. It's like stepping on stage under fluorescent lights. You see every detail you wish would stay hidden. I remember a woman named Carol who came into the salon with hair as pale as snow. She loved the drama of her platinum but confessed, "I feel like I'm chasing something I can't catch." The upkeep was relentless. Roots appeared within weeks, and every appointment was a battle against brassiness and breakage. Her hair, once strong, had grown fragile from the bleaching. When we shifted her into a honey blonde with soft, golden lowlights, the difference was stunning. Her skin looked warmer, her hair healthier, and for the first time in years, she sighed in relief and said, "This feels like me." That's the hidden weight of platinum, maintenance. On fragile hair, bleaching strips away moisture, leaving strands brittle, dry, and prone to breakage. Every few weeks, you're faced with the choice: touch up the roots or let them betray the illusion. And unlike softer shades, platinum doesn't forgive. Gray regrowth shows instantly, a sharp line that demands attention. Instead of freeing you, the color can trap you in a cycle of constant upkeep and growing frustration. But here's the thing. You don't have to give up on blonde altogether. The key lies in warmth and balance. Shades like honey blonde, champagne blonde, or golden highlights woven through a lighter brown base can deliver all the brightness without the harshness. They lift the face, soften the skin, and create movement that platinum can't always offer. Most importantly, they blend more gracefully with your natural grays, letting you step off the maintenance treadmill and actually enjoy your hair again. Emotionally, many women cling to platinum because it feels like a shield, a way to say, "I'm not giving up on being noticed," and that feeling matters. But what if being noticed didn't have to come with exhaustion? What if the right shade let you be seen for your vitality and spirit, not just your color choice? That's what softer blondes can do. They don't erase your presence. They amplify it. Platinum blonde may always hold a place in fashion history, but after 60, it often demands more than it gives. And you deserve better than that. You deserve a shade that works with you, not against you. Now that we've explored the 6 shades, 3 that quietly add years and 3 that bring your glow back, the real question is this: which story will your hair tell? Because color isn't just cosmetic, it's a reflection of your spirit, your energy, and the way you choose to step into the world. And in our conclusion, I'll share why choosing the right shade is less about covering age and more about celebrating who you are today. When you look back at the 6 shades we've explored, it becomes clear. Hair color is never just about fashion. It's about how you feel when you catch your reflection in the mirror, about whether your color lifts your spirit or quietly weighs you down. The wrong shade can steal warmth from your face and make you feel older than you are. But the right one? It gives you back your glow, your confidence, your sense of presence. Here's the most important truth. Age doesn't limit your beauty. It refines it. You don't need to chase youth or hide your years. You only need to choose colors that celebrate the woman you are today. A silver that shines, a chocolate warmth that softens, or a smoky elegance that whispers sophistication. All of these tell the world, I am here, I am radiant, and I am not afraid of being seen. So, which shade is telling your story right now? If you're ready to explore, let this be the moment you give yourself permission to try. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more inspiration. Because your journey deserves to be celebrated, one radiant color at a time.